Come in, do some things, let's talk about it.
That's what we're fixing to do tonight on the inert landfill if I'm given the position.
No, sir, we don't have enough time. We're not going to waste that much time tonight to come here to talk about it. We want to call me, we will.
Mr. Mayor, there's a motion and a second on the floor to amend the agenda, which we have every right to do.
Well, you cannot, you do not have the right to put anything on my agenda.
Can I read that question to Attorney Smith?
You take the motion. It's been seconded. That's the motion that's before the council.
Well, what I'm saying, not even the motion, you cannot put anything on my agenda. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he just made the motion and it was seconded, so that's what's before the
council. So that means that you're going to come in and say, we want to buy a new car, you want to do whatever you want to do without the mayor permission, you just want to run the meeting, and everybody just going to come in and say, well, we're going to do this. What power do the mayor have? The council do not come in and decide what the mayor is going to do. Well, they're not the mayor.
It's not that. You can amend, every meeting has to have an agenda.
Yes, ma'am. And I do the agenda. If you want to put something on my agenda, you get in touch with me, with the mayor, and ask the mayor, could you put this on the agenda? You just don't put nothing on the agenda.
Well, you can do that before the meeting, but when you have a meeting and you have an agenda, and somebody makes a motion to amend the agenda.
No, ma'am, I'm saying that you're not going to put anything on my agenda that I have made. If you got the agenda in enough time, you could call the mayor and ask the mayor, Mayor, could we put this on the agenda? Ask for my permission. Just don't do it because you want to.
But by parliamentary procedure, once a motion is made to amend the agenda and seconded, you have to address that motion. Now, you can vote it down if the council so chooses, but that's the motion before council.
And just like I told you last week too, and I can veto it also too, if they even approve it. Well?
You can't veto a motion.
No, I can let them go right on through it, and then why are we going to waste time and I'm going to veto it?
Mr. Mayor, you only veto a resolution or an ordinance.
No, sir, if it's something coming across my table and I do not agree with it, I can veto it.
You can only veto things that are passed by council, not motions. The motion is before the council. It has been
Well, if the
seconded.
council going to pass this right here, then I'm just going to veto it. Why we going to waste time?
Can't
But
be
you
vetoed.
can't veto
Can't veto a motion.
a motion.
No, I'm not going to veto the motion. If
You
I
can
ain't gonna let it
veto
just
a
go on.
resolution, But he didn't make a motion.
No, but I'm
for a
not
resolution.
even going to allow it to go on my agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
We
this
can
is the
move
city's
forward.
agenda, it's not your agenda.
If the city want to come to a point that they want to do some things, they come to the mayor and ask the mayor for permission and we can go forward. Just don't put anything on my agenda. That's all I'm asking my council. And we don't been through this before, because I'm not going to approve it.
The motion is before the council right now, so y'all either need to vote it up or down.
Well, do the mayor have the power to bring it to the table?
To bring the agenda,
No, to bring the motion.
well, you didn't bring it to the motion, he made the motion.
Right.
And he
Did the motion,
seconded it.
did I carry it for it to be seconded?
Well, it's not up to you, he made a motion, a member made a motion, another member seconded, so that is what's before the council for a vote. Now, if he calls for the vote, because you won't, that still is before the council. But it's up to you to call for the vote. If you don't, then he has the privilege of doing that, because that's what's before the council right now.
That's not happening.
Mr. Mayor, I call for the question. Mr. Mayor, I call for the question. Mr. Mayor, I call for the question. Attorney Smith, is that 3 times?
That's 3 times. Now you're allowed to call for the vote.
There's been a motion been made to amend the agenda as I've stated. There's a second. All those in favor of amending the agenda as stated, let it be known by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries.
Ms. Moser, we can move forward, we're looking at accepting the minutes from our last council meeting, and I'd like to make some correction in that last council. And Ms. Moser, could you turn to the last page of the minute? Then start at Mayor Pro Tem, Chris McCoy asked Mayor Ivey for an update. You have that?
The last paragraph.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you read that off for us, please?
Mayor Pro Tem McCoy asked Mayor Ivey for an update on the notice of deficiencies from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources that he received the week of January 6, 2015, and if Mayor Ivey had responded to the notice. Mayor Pro Tem McCoy stated that the notice asked for a detailed update to Exhibit A in the consent order, and they were requesting a response by January 20th, 2015, and he wanted to know if the mayor had responded. Mayor Ivey Ivey stated he had been emailing with Mr. Darley. Mayor Pro Tem McCorkle asked if the notice of deficiency the city had been fined for being out of parameters for discharge of effluent BODs at the oxidation pond. Go on.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Ivey reported the city was fined $2,200. Mayor Pro Tem McCorkle stated he wanted to know the status of the city's official response. Mayor Ivey stated the city started getting fines before he took office. Mayor Ivey stated that if the city had been complying with the consent order by posting signs and posted notices in the paper, the city would not be getting fines. If the city had let the public know, they would not have been fined. Mr. Rogers stated that in October there was a sewer spill on the railroad track that the city did not know about the spill until they were notified by EPD about the spill, and that EPD classified the spill as a major spill. They told Mr. Rogers he would need to start testing the water upstream and downstream for quality, and EPD would send a letter notifying him what else the city needed to do. Mr. Rogers stated as he never received the letter until he was in a meeting with the mayor and EPD. Mr. Rogers agreed there was not a lot to do, but without getting the letter, he could not address the issue. Council asked that they receive a copy of any letter from the Department of Natural Resources. Mayor Ivey stated he will contact City Engineer Ken Green to draft a response to the Environmental Protection Division. Councilmember Giddens made a motion that the city pay the $2,200 fine. Mayor Pro Tem McCorkle seconded the motion, which passed by unanimous vote.
Okay. Mr. Haywood, did I get you to read the article that you put in the paper? It's an article that you put in the paper, Mayor Pro Tem Chris McCorkle asked Mayor Ivey about research. I have this. So. You can start right there, right there.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor Pro Tem Chris McCorkle asked Mayor Ivey if the mayor received a letter dated January 6, 2015 from DNR concerning a detailed outline of compliance response by January 20th for a notice of deficiency, which could include a fine for not responding properly. Mayor Ivey said he received a letter concerning mercury and turned the letter over to Pat Rogers.
Okay, thank you, sir.
How far you want me to keep reading?
No, sir, you read just what I want you to read. Councilors, yeah, a letter from Mr. Dodd from EPA. Each one of you guys have a copy of that. Mr. Haywood, I would like you to have a copy also too. We can make sure you print that in the paper. Could you read that for us, sir, if you don't mind?
You asking me to read this letter as a copy of a letter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's dated February the 24th of 2015, and it's addressed to Honorable George Ivey, Mayor, City of Warrenton, P.O. Box 109, Warrenton, Georgia 30828. RE is in reference to inquiry, letter dated January 6, 2015. And then it's capital letters NPDES, permit number capital GA 0032786, Warren County. Dear Mayor Ivey, I have looked into your inquiry about our letter dated January 6, 2015, which was sent to you from our office. The division has received your response to our January 6, 2015, doesn't say anything, including your update, the response to what? But it says including your update on the mercury issue and the capital CO exhibit -A, along with your penalty payment of $2,200. The penalty of $2,200 noted in that letter was not in any way due to any late response by the city to that letter. The penalty was due only as a result of condition number 5 of your existing consent order, and these are all caps, EPD-WQ-5417, as it pertains to your South Plant wastewater facility not meeting permit limits during recent sampling periods. Condition number 5 states in part, quote, and this is in italics, in the event the respondent, with a capital R, fails to comply with any permit, with a capital P, parameter, monetary settlements in the amount of $100, parenthesis, $100, shall accrue for each violation of the facility's capital S apostrophe, capital F apostrophe S, permit, capital P, unquote. Should you have any further questions at any time, please do not hesitate to call us at 706-667-4343, period. Sincerely, hyphen, I guess that's his signature, Ted Stack, S-T-A-A-K, Program Manager, East Central District Office. And then his closed, also carbon copy to Augusta Office Files / Warren County / WQ Caps / City of Warrenton South Plant. And that is from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources, Environmental Protection Division, East Central District Office from Augusta, Georgia.
Thank you, sir.
This is my copy, correct?
That was, it had copy on that one, I'll give you one that don't have copy on it.
It doesn't have a copy.
Oh, I thought you said
It just,
okay.
Yes, this is
Yes,
a
sir.
copy of it.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. And why I brought that to it, I wanted to make a change made in there because by me reading this statement and looking at the minute and reading the paper, it's saying like we got that fine because Mayor Ivey did not apply. That he did not apply in time, or he did not apply at all, or not with a letter. And the letter stated, and Mr. Stack saying that we did not get that fine because Mayor Ivey did not apply. Because in reading the paper, it make it seem like like Mayor Ivey, the reason we got that $2,002 fine because Mayor Ivey did not apply. And that's not the case. And I just want to make sure that we put that in our minutes.
Mr. Mayor, is there anything wrong with the minutes as they've been submitted, or you?
Yes, sir, because when I was explaining to the minutes, and it came up that it was like the reason why we got fined because Mayor Ivey did not apply to the letter.
Is that stated in the minutes, or are you saying it's stated in the paper?
Well, Mr. Roy stated also too in the meeting.
No, sir, I don't think he did. I think the minutes clearly state that, and you stated this, that you reported the city was fined $2,200, and it was in response to a question I asked regarding being out of the parameters for discharge of effluent DODs at the oxidation.
And that's what you asked me also, Mayor Pro Tem, that's why we was fined because I did not apply to it.
No, sir, I didn't. I never said that.
The question then was whether we were.
I never said it either.
My recorder don't say that. Yeah. I know y'all would. Yes, sir, Mr. Haywood.
I have a question since you had me to read this, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you can explain it to me. Under this, it says that the fine is based on condition number 5. And condition number 5 in italics says there'll be a fine in the amount of $100. Well, how did it get to be $2,200?
That's exactly what it was, the $2,200 from the fine.
That's approved over the period.
per violation.
Yeah, that's per violation.
So we had 22 violations? That was my question, because it says fail to comply with any permit parameter in the amount of $100 approved for each violation.
Yes.
I make a motion that the town hall meeting minutes of January 20, 2015, and the council meeting minutes of February 3rd, 2015 be approved as submitted.
So y'all guys just not gonna clean up nothing that you make. And when I'm saying that cleaned up, since I see some people in the audience got their faces a different way, the mayor is cleaning up some stuff here, and then everybody going like, what? And when I'm saying cleaning up, want to make sure, because I don't want, if I do something that's gonna hurt the city, I don't mind doing it. And then I claim that what I did. But you do not put something on me that's saying that I'm causing we paid a fine or do anything, even changing the minutes to correct them. And then we're not going to even correct our minutes that we have it here.
Mr. Mayor, if you can be specific as to what you want changed in the minutes, we'd be happy to consider that, but nowhere in the minutes does it state we were fined due to a lack of response or any delay. It doesn't say that anywhere in the minutes. It says we were fined $2,200 for being out of the parameters for discharge of effluent BODs at the oxidation plant.
And you didn't question me in saying that, Mr. Mayor, did I respond to the letter?
I had a question specific to our response from a letter that we should have responded by January 20th, and it was February the 3rd, and we had yet to respond. That was the question I had.
Yeah, and the question I came back with you, and I told you that I brought the letter in and gave it to Ms. Moses.
And Mr. Stack's letter says the $22 fine had nothing to do with the response.
No, exactly.
So, I mean, the
And
minutes.
so do the minutes.
So the minutes are correct.
The $2,200 fine and the response to the letter are two separate issues. It clearly states that in the minutes. It clearly happened at the last meeting. This is fine, but I don't read anything that anything with the fine had anything to do with you not responding. And the minutes don't say that either. And I didn't leave here with that impression.
But then the paper, did nobody else read it?
I'm not responsible for the paper.
I know, we're not responsible for a lot of
And
things.
the minutes are a true reflection of the meeting. Therefore, let's vote and approve the minutes, which are the true reflection of the meeting.
Attorney Glee, Smith. You said, let me just put it back. I'll put it plain and simple. If we approve these minutes, and any minutes that we approve, and we're not agreeing with the minutes that we approve, that means that everything is okay in the minutes, and we approve the minutes.
If you approve them, you're agreeing to them, yes.
Right, exactly. Thank you. Because in the minutes, they have a resolution. And I'm not approving the resolution. To give our citizens the right to speak. We've been doing it for the last, I don't know how long the city been existing here and how long we've been allowing people to come up and speak. And then we're going to stop it now. That's not going to happen. I think it's right for the citizen to come up and be able to voice their opinion, what's going on. If we get them, by example, if we want to close down a road, and the council decide to close the road, and then we don't get a chance to vote and oppress, and the people don't get a chance to express their feeling about the closing of the road, so that means the council is doing it. So I really think the people should have a voice. I don't think that this council should make all the rules for the people. In my election idea, I said, we're going to be people over politics. And I'm going to stick with that. I think it's the people want certain things in the city, that's the things that we should have in the city. If they want to come out, address and appeal to the council with some issues that are going on, I think we all should be able to do that.
Mr. Mayor, there is no resolution been passed or voted on.
No, sir, it had not. But I
And
just
we have
asked
on
her,
the floor to pass the minutes and get on with this meeting, please, sir. Can we do that?
and I just asked her if it in the minute would it be if I approve it. Didn't I just ask her that?
No, sir, that resolution was drawn up. We voted to draw up a resolution last meeting. We did not vote and approve that resolution.
No, sir.
It has nothing to do
It hasn't been
with.
signed.
And Mr. Mayor, was that discussed in the last meeting? Yes, it was. Is it in the minutes? Yes, it is. Therefore, the minutes are true. Therefore, let's get on with this. Please, sir.
You cannot pass resolution in the minutes. The minutes are a reflection of what was discussed, but by passing minutes, you are not passing a resolution.
Okay, thank you. Because you know what, I would just want to get that in saying and getting it on the minutes, because it's going to come back to hunt. Okay? Just remember I said that. Okay? All in favor that the minute be approved?
When you said haunt you, what did you mean?
All the councils, at this time, we all have read the minutes and been over the minutes and here, of course, in the core and other minutes. Do I have a motion that we accept the minutes and move forward? Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, there's already a motion and a second on the table.
Do I have a second? Mayor did not hear, because since we've been talking, could I have a
I'll
motion?
second it, and I'll second it again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any question? All in favor of the word aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Moore.
Recognition of guests. Mr. Mayor, may want to check that they wish to speak.
Okay. Move on.
Call for reports by departments.
I looked at the reports and it looked good, and everybody is, I thank you guys, for, look like something I brought to the table, is trying to go forward. And I thank you guys for, doing a really good job at it. I just like to thank you, because it's been accountability, that's all I'm asking for, just being accountability to what we are doing, that's all. I have a motion that we accept the reports from the department.
I'll make a motion, we accept the reports by the departments.
There's been motion and been second. Any question? All in favor by the word aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, the same? No opposed? Ayes have it.
Unfinished business, amend the budget when departments have shortfall, mayor and council amends the budget as needed. Mayor Ivey.
I get to a point in the words, we say this every week, every month, about, and we are going to start, we are going to cover our shortfall, and as we have been doing, we're going to continue to do that. If we fall short, and that's what the spreadsheets were, well, we would not fall short anymore. And it kind of keep up and give us a day-to-day base of what we are doing. Okay.
Money for mayor and council training, Mayor Ivey.
Do I hear a motion that we amend this, for mayor, for council and training for mayor and council? Do I hear a motion? Wait 3 minutes. Okay, we're gonna move on.
Spreadsheets and purchase orders forms for departments, Mayor Ivey.
Again, thank you. Move on.
Audit the last 4 years, Mayor Ivey.
Do I have a motion that we, get our audit for the last 4 years? You can move on, Ms. Moore.
Cell phones, Mayor Ivey.
If they have a mayor name on it, they don't go. I have a motion that, we get the mayor's cell phone where we can kind of keep up, and then we could get in touch when something do happen. I think it's almost like the chief, have a number that you can call if there's a disaster or anything come, emergency come up, whatever happened in the city, these things need to be done. We got emergency people on duty for all things. It will be good. It will be great. No motion, we moving on.
Resolution amending the general ordinances of the city of Warrenton, Part 2, Chapter 1, Section 2-103. A resolution to amend the general ordinances of the city of Warrenton. Whereas the city of Warrenton desires to amend the general ordinances of the city, therefore be it resolved, the following identified portions of the general ordinances of the city are hereby amended to read as follows. Part 2, Mayor and Council, Chapter 1, General Provisions, Section 2-103, Order of Business, C, Grievance from Citizens. Any citizen wishing to bring grievance before the council may do so by being allowed 2 minutes to speak and address council at regular scheduled meetings of the council. A citizen wishing to ask a question of the council or that is seeking any type of documentation from the city clerk/administrator must make such request in writing 24 hours before said meeting of council at which they are seeking a response. In witness thereof, this ordinance has been duly adopted by the governing authority of the city of Warrenton, Georgia on the 3rd day of March 2015.
Marion, you said 24 hours, did you mean 48?
I'm sorry, 48. I read that wrong, I'm sorry.
Okay, you can move on.
Make a motion the resolution be passed.
We already moved
Second.
on. We move forward,
There's been a motion and a second.
but I move forward first.
I call for the question.
Ms. Mosley, will you go on?
I call for the question. I call for the question. There's a motion on the floor to pass the resolution as read. There's a second. All those in favor of passing the resolution as read, let it be known by saying aye. All those opposed?
Mayor, I call the order so we can move on with the agenda.
Council already had asked the clerk to move on earlier.
Resolution amending the general ordinances of the city of Warrenton, Part 2, Chapter 1, Section 2-1.
Ms. Mosley, please hold it for a second. I just want to know who are your boss, was the council or the mayor, and I asked you to move forward, you didn't move forward. But as soon as the council asked you to move forward, you're moving forward. And we working for the council, we working for the city.
I asked the mayor to call over, I didn't ask the clerk.
I'm just saying she has started talking after you got through talking. And I asked her.
You made the insinuation that you told her to go
You already
ahead.
told her to move on.
So
No,
she did
stop.
what you said.
But she didn't hear it in the beginning until you guys said it. That's what you're saying. It wasn't a motion on the table.
Mr.
We
Mayor,
had
there is no,
finished that
Mr. Mayor, there is no sense in this. Let's get on with the business of this city. Please, sir.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.
There's not been a motion nor a vote to adjourn this meeting.
Well,
We
the
stay
mayor
here.
saw that the meeting was getting out of hand and he started calling.
Mr. Mayor, you can leave the meeting,
Yes, sir.
but this meeting will continue with the mayor pro tem in charge if you walk out of this room.
Yes, I will, because I see the mayor, it was getting out of hand, and the mayor have that authority.
No, sir, you do not.
If he see the meeting getting out of hand, can he adjourn the meeting?
You have to make a motion to adjourn, you have to have a second.
I have to have a motion to adjourn the meeting, not when the meeting getting out of hand.
Mr. Mayor, the meeting is not out of hand.
Yes, sir.
You need to keep it quiet.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Why did you leave the meeting?
I left because the meeting felt like it was getting out of hand, that the council was not doing what they were supposed to do. They already have a stage play to come in there.
You should have said that, Chris.
Excuse me?
You know what he
just
just
said,
said?
ghetto?
He called us ghetto. He's the ghetto
Excuse me,
Chris.
go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. And that's what it is, you know. And they always do this, and they already have a meeting before.
They ghetto meeting. Our councilman, the one that we select,
What
the
was
one
that?
that we
What
vote
was
on, ghetto meeting. Because the mayor walked out. Ghetto meeting.
The mayor called.
Ghetto meeting. I don't remember telling nobody
What
else.
do you call your YouTube channel?
We don't call it ghetto. You need to get your facts straight when you talking about ghetto. Ghetto.
Everybody in this room, we're too grown and too old for all of this.
Ghetto.
Can't come together
And
as one.
he's supposed to be for the people. He showed who he for. No, he showed who he for. He showed who he for. Not for the people.
Ms. Johnson, Council Johnson, can I get a motion that we adjourn this meeting? Can I get a motion that we adjourn this meeting?
Mr. Rhymes, could you tell us what you call your YouTube channel, please? Would you like to come here and look at what he calls it? It's stated, what Mr. Rhymes calls his channel. It's right here, you can see it. I'm not making anything up. And I'm not trying to use, I'm not using any,
Ghetto from the press.
no, it says ghetto free press.
Upper free press,
Yeah.
leave them.
I'm not making any racial epithets or anything.
Right.
Stating that, you know,
President, you know the
The motion
right and wrong.
is
I mean,
second.
that's one.
Have a motion? I have a second.
Mr. Mayor, I sympathetically and urgently request that we continue with the agenda. This serves no purpose. Serves no purpose for you, serves no purpose for us, it serves no purpose for people to sit there and just stare at each other. Can we just go on for it? I understand if you don't like the resolutions, you have the power to veto these two resolutions that are up here. If you want to, go ahead. Let's go ahead and go through this, because there are other things left on this agenda that we do need to address that are vitally important to the welfare of these people. So let us go on through it and quit playing these little games.
What we're going through right now, it would be really nice if the mayor know or be an input in some of the things that are going on. And still in having you guys know what's going on and nothing is getting done. And then the city is still getting fined for things that's going on. And you guys know what's going on. And then here it is, now we come back to again, and I'm keep asking if anything, I even address the clerk, if anything coming down the pipeline or whatever coming up, please address the mayor, let the mayor know what's going on. Even just like our landfill is already supposed to be shut down, and we still using it, but it's supposed to be shut down. And that's not going to do nothing but hurt the city.
That was an item you took off the agenda tonight too. We were
Yes,
prepared to
because
discuss it.
I wanted to talk about it. We should be talking about it.
We should be talking about it right
That's
now.
what we're trying to do.
No,
And that's
sir,
what we're trying to get
because
to.
The mayor is not equipped and not full of knowledge of what's going on.
Amen.
Why I'm going to sit here and talk about something that you guys know about and the mayor don't know anything about what's going on?
Well, can we go to the agenda and do the next resolution, and then let's talk about the landfill police?
But why couldn't we talk about landfill before we got into a meeting?
Because we have. I think there were emails invited, there were meetings held that you
Special
could.
call meeting for us to talk about it.
But we need,
Wait.
we
I
do
got-
need,
When y'all gave me a special call to meet to a meeting?
no, sir, didn't
I
you?
said we would have to have a
We
special
would have to
call
have a
meeting if we
special call
want to talk
meeting,
about it
but you
before
had
this
emailed-
meeting.
Okay, we should have had that before, because this just didn't happen. The landfill supposed to be shut down in December. This just didn't happen. It is just two months out, going in the third month. And you talking about having a call meeting, and it's going to cost the taxpayer money?
If we can get into the agenda, you might can educate yourself on what you're gonna hear.
Let us get to it and talk to it. Let's get the next resolution as
Why
on
would
the
you
agenda.
bring the city into something 3 months delay over? bring them in a 3-month delay,
No,
and
sir.
then now you want to talk about it now. And we should have been on talking about that to save the city some money.
Well, let's
save
go
for being fined.
Let's get to it, Mr. Mayor. The agenda is before you. You know the next portion of the agenda, we need to handle this business. Let us please do it, sir. Let's get to it.
The taxpayer sitting back,
Mr.
and
Mayor.
I think they need to know what's going on. We losing money that the council know what's going on, but nothing has been done about it.
No, we don't, sir. And
You
we're trying to get...
didn't know this had happened, the landfill was going to be closed December the 1st?
The landfill is
No.
not going to be closed until we determine it's going to be closed.
Exactly.
Then it has to be inspected after that. We haven't made a decision to close anything.
Landfill, no, we hadn't, but our
May of last year, 2014, if you'll let us get on the agenda, we'll get to all this.
but why you want to get to it now? Why the mayor didn't been know about it? If you supposed to be over that
I didn't know
department,
about it till last week, Mayor. And
Last week?
I attempted to talk to you Friday afternoon, left you a voicemail.
you left me a voicemail.
On your
Everybody
phone
knows
number.
my cell number. Every whole city know that number.
Wait a minute.
Everybody
I
call.
thought you wanted a cell phone.
I do.
I thought your cell phone was broke.
It were. I gotta
I called
know.
your home phone and left a voice message. I sent you an email Sunday morning because I hadn't heard from you.
Sunday morning. What happened to my cell phone?
I don't have your cell phone number.
Everybody else in the city does.
Well, I don't care what everybody else has got from me, Mayor.
You could have got the chief to come find me.
Point is, nobody's just told me about it till last week, what we've got
No,
to
sir.
discuss tonight.
No, sir. You
May
might
of
don't know what you was talking about.
2014, May of 2014, we submitted the paperwork necessary to continue our operation as we know it today. We've got a decision to make. We have another document that's due March 15th to implement a plan to tell them what we're going to do. We're either going to get it re-permitted or shut it down. That's what we're here to discuss
Well,
tonight.
our re-permit is already been expired. They're not going to give us a permit. That's what Mr. Darling said. And I think Council
Every
Johnson,
landfill, there are
Council-
thousands of landfills
Council
across the
Johnson
state are in the same situation we are. All landfills were inactive as of December 31st per the DNR.
Well, why are we
But
paying
everybody's-
fine? Why are we paying fine?
We're not
to
paying a
carry
fine.
through?
We're not paying a fine for any landfill
We
violations.
hadn't paid it then? No.
We're not paying any fines for landfill violations.
Not yet.
That's right. That's what we're here to address. We will pay them if we don't respond.
Oh, well, we already going to pay them. Not just because we're here tonight. Those fines there, they just had to send us a bill. They're already there.
Oh, okay. Well, you know more. Maybe you ought to teach the class.
Then how come you haven't told us?
Because
Why
I
haven't you
just
brought it up?
because I just find it out.
We should have had called me.
Yeah. No. What we're gonna have to call me for?
So you can educate us and tell
Well,
us.
if you can't get in contact with me, sure I couldn't get in contact with you.
Well, we're all here. Let's do it now.
Games we play.
Let's keep going on and do it now.
At this time, the mayor do not have enough knowledge of what's going on, and I'm not going to move forward in this city.
But
to
you know we're
cause the
getting
city
fined and you don't know
more.
anything?
And
I'm
I
not
just
going to
told you.
cause the city more
And I
by
just told
doing
you,
something
we've got
that
a
we don't
deadline to
do.
meet March 15th, and you're gonna move on.
Yes, sir, because you could have been called me. You could have picked up that phone a little bit harder.
So
If you know we got a
Oh,
deadline.
blame me then, I'll take responsibility.
Therefore,
No, sir.
any trouble the city gets into to this and do that you're not wanting to do tonight, you're ready to take responsibility for those things?
No, sir, because the city's already in trouble for what they've already done.
No, sir, we're not.
Well, Mr. Dollar, he just lied to me every time I go down there.
Mr.
And I'm calling out names. And I wish the paper just put that there, that the mayor said Mr. Dollar must be lying to him. But I don't think he is lying to us. I don't think he's lying. I really thank God that I got a great relationship with him right now. That I don't want to lose that great relationship while we sit around this table and playing games. Maybe sometime when you're looking for me, trying to call me, maybe you need to go down to Mr. Dollar office. Maybe you might find me there, trying to figure out how we can get by without paying these fines. And the fine and the taxpayer don't realize that this is taxpayer money that we just throwing away, and we think it's okay. It's not okay. It's okay as long as it's not yours. We could have sat down at a table being like men's, just like we did over at the library, sat there, everything just good, just good. Just like want to cut out our reparation, turn it over to the school. No, we're not going to do that. We're not turning our reparation to the school, barely getting by itself. But you got to forget, I guess you don't have kids to go there, or you don't have a cousin or whatever to go there. But I look forward to our kids as a generation moving forward. I'm looking for this city to move forward. Not sit at this table and do it by what you want to do, then you get here and you're going to go over the mayor. No. If the law allows that to happen, let it be so. But I'm not going to stand here and allow you guys to come here and just do what you want to do. Already don't plan out what you're going to do and call a motion and then in a second before you get the last word out your mouth. That's not going to happen. I will veto it every time it passed. And I will sign off on it, and I don't care how many times it is. I'm not going to allow it to happen. Yeah, we can sit at this table and play games. I don't sit at this table and play games and go through a whole meeting, then I'm going to veto it. We've been playing games for a whole year.
I call for the orders of the day, Mr. Mayor. Let's move on to the agenda, please.
Yeah, that's because I'm saying a little too much now. Y'all want to move on.
No, we can get to what you were just talking about, and it's due course. We're coming to that point on the agenda. We can discuss it like grown men, like we're supposed to.
And why couldn't we do that in the beginning?
We've been trying to.
No, sir. No, you didn't. You want to come here, you want to do it, and get a motion where you can just move it forward. You should have came into a room, and we can have different. It's no problem having different. I can be wrong. It's no problem. But you're going to have to show me that I'm wrong. You're not just going to tell me I'm wrong and I see something that's different.
Could you be more precise as to what we told you you were wrong about? I quite frankly, I've not understood a word you just said. I'm sorry, but you lost me. And if I'm going to improve my behavior, I need to know specifically what I've done wrong.
It's just like you come outside. How many times you don't came up to me and apologized to me outside?
Well, I try to do what I feel is right, and I feel like I've been out of line. If I feel like I've been out of line, I'm man enough to own up to it and to reach out my hand and apologize.
But let me just tell you what apology is to me. Apology is if I apologize to someone, I'm not going to do it again. And then you turn around and do it again.
I think that would be perfection, and sir, I'm not perfect.
No, sir, I understand that. But you didn't mean it from your heart.
No, I did mean it.
Because if you mean it from your heart, you don't do it again. You don't keep doing things over.
You don't know my heart, sir.
No, sir, I do not. But I know mine, because if I say something from my heart, I'm not going to do it again.
I call for the orders today, Mr. Mayor.
But you were saying, what have you did? I was just explaining to you what you have done. That's what you asked.
Apologizing, that's where I screwed up.
Yeah, and come back and do it again.
And sir, what did I do again?
Come back and did the same thing again, out of order, inside of me.
So the question was, what council said you did wrong?
The question was what we was talking about, what between me and him, and what's
Y'all
going
can
on.
do that outside the meeting.
Yes, gentlemen, I suggest if y'all wish to have that discussion, have it on your own time, and let's get back to the agenda, please.
If we ever just come in and have a meeting, and sit around and brainstorm, try to make the city move forward, it would be great. But come in and manipulate the people because they don't know what's going on.
Manipulate who?
The taxpayer, and while we in some of the fines that we do. And why that we could have just asked for extension on the landfill could have been extended.
Can we move to the next item on the agenda, please?
Yes, sir, we can. Ms. Mosley, could you go to the next item on the agenda?
You have a motion and a second on the floor.
Thank you.
Can that motion be brought back up again? When we understand what we're gonna be voting on?
I think we dispensed with that one. We voted on it. We're actually to the next item that's been stated, which belongs to Ms. Smith.
The next one was the resolution to amend the ordinances, and I will just point out, the only thing that is new is that third paragraph that says, the city attorney shall serve as a parliamentarian for all council meetings. The other part is already part of our city charter and resolutions, and that's the only sentence that I added. I just added all 3 paragraphs for some background information, so you know where it fit in the ordinance.
Okay. And they have been so moved that,
I'll make a, Mr. Mayor, do it wrong, do it officially. I'll make the motion that we accept the resolution as presented.
Second.
any question? All in favor of the word aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Inert landfill application, Councilmember Hunter.
What's been passed to you, ladies and gentlemen, is a letter from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources Environmental Protection Division Land Protection Branch, alerting us of a deadline we have to meet. In a thumbnail, if you will, allow me to briefly say that in 2013, the Department of Natural Resources made some regulatory changes on inert landfills. Those changes are severe. There's 1,000 landfills, over 1,000 landfills in the state of Georgia, the same situation we're in today. March or May, I cannot remember, of last year, we sent a document in to file an extension to continue our landfill as we know it today. Landfills are supposed to be closed as of December 31st, 2014. Municipalities or landfill operators that sent in an application in March or May of 2014 were allowed to continue. This is how I understand it. Now, we have a deadline. The letter you have before you, we received January 26th, I believe it was. Yeah, January 26th. I brought it to council, last council meeting, which was what, February 4th, 5th, or 6th. Told you I'd get back to you this evening. That's what I'm attempting to do. I scheduled with, I gave this application to a local engineer. He handed it back to me a couple of weeks later, suggesting I call an engineer out of Savannah, Georgia. Contacted him, I met with him Friday, talked with him last Friday, Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. We scheduled an appointment for 4:30 yesterday afternoon. He and I, Mayor Pro Tem, walked the landfill. Critical issues with this landfill is 100-foot buffers. If we decide, we've got to make a decision whether we're going to continue with our landfill as we know it today or shut it down. Most critical thing at this point is, number one, we have a survey done so we can identify our 100-foot buffers. And we submit this application that's due March 15th with a plan of action. That plan of action is basically going to be determined upon what an engineer can assist us in making that decision. The engineer we talked to yesterday kind of led Chris and I to believe that we need to maybe look towards shutting our landfill down. I don't know if we're at that point, but to re-permit our landfill will cost tens of thousands of dollars. It's almost like the engineers and the geological surveyors and the methane gas people have lobbied to have this done because the expense is doing the geological surveys, the methane drills that have to be drilled and tested and monitored quarterly, compaction, coverage, sedimentation, erosion. It's just you can't imagine the changes that have occurred. I brought with me, I couldn't find the list of regulatory items that are required to keep it open, but I've got a 3-page list of stuff that has to be done just to shut it down. So it's an extensive operation whichever way we go. I have a call in for Turnip Seed Engineering, who's operated and worked with us for X number of years. I'd like to have his backup talk, and compare it to what the engineer spoke to us about yesterday. I'd like to get back to Kenny Green. I have a call in for him, see if I can't get him to come out here in the next few days and meet with us again, walk our landfill, assist us in making a plan as which direction we need to go. Whichever direction it is, it's going to be costly to the city. My immediate response, immediate request now would be I'd like to make a motion that we have a survey done so that we can identify our boundary lines. Because again, one of the critical points, in whichever way we go, continuing or shutting it down, we have to have a 100-foot buffer to our neighbor's property line. So we need to know where our property lines are to identify that 100-foot buffer. So in the form of a motion, I'm asking council to approve a survey that we can get done as quickly as possible.
I'll second that motion.
It have been motion, and it have been second. Any question? All in favor by the word aye?
All right, in the meantime, I'm going to continue to try to get hold of Kenny Green in regards to him coming out and assisting us in the evaluation of this landfill.
How much notice do you think Kenny can give you when we can meet? I'd like to have that and a call meeting to address this all wrapped into one nice package, is that all possible?
We would have to have a call meeting. My suggestion would be for us to have a call meeting to discuss our plan.
And options.
And options, because we do have to submit this application, and it has to be in by March 15th, which is a Sunday. I don't know why they chose March 15th, but as long as we get it postmarked March 14th, I'm sure we'll be okay. So we'll have to have a call meeting at some point next week to determine what we want to do.
And Mr. Hunter, you were saying, Council Hunter, you were saying that they are going to allow us to open it back up if we follow these guidelines that they have?
We would have to be re-permitted by rule, and I mean, I hate to even say this, but we're probably talking between $30,000 and $40,000 for us to be re-permitted. The expense necessary to do what's required to continue a landfill, inert landfill as we know it today. As we know today's history, it's no more. This is very shortly, this has been caused by landfills. Anybody could have applied for a landfill 10 years ago and got it. Developers were requiring for inert landfills, cutting streets, making developments, building houses, picking a lot, digging a hole, burying stuff, building a house on top of it. We've had inert landfills that have caused fires from methane gas that have caused hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably millions of thousands of dollars of destruction across the state over the years. And that's really the result of these regulatory changes. They've really clamped down and gotten, well, it's obviously pretty strict.
It's, Council Johnson, do you remember what Mr. Darling said about, and when Mayor Ivey asked him, was it possible we get another permit for that landfill? Did you remember what he said?
I can't remember.
But he was saying that we wasn't gonna be able to get another permit for that. Was it?
Well, I'll tell you what, look at the bottom of the letter I gave you. The last
Yes, sir.
paragraph has Melanie Henry's phone number on there. I'd suggest you ask Mr. Darling to call Melanie and let Melanie explain it to him how we can get re-permitted.
Because my understanding was, and I'm not the brightest person in the world, I'm just like Ms. Ingram. Here it goes, when I asked him about it, we was going to be able to get another, he was just saying flat out, yes, you're going to have to shut it down. It's supposed to be already have 2 foot dirt already on top of it.
I don't know what division Mr. Darling works for the Department of Natural Resources, but Melanie Henry works for the Land Protection Branch, and Land Protection Branch governs inert landfills. I don't know if Mr. Darling, again, I don't know what branch bank she works for.
Right, and the paperwork that he was saying, we could apply for that, but we just did not apply back for another permit. We could have been still running that landfill. And we just would have applied for that application. Be fair to apply for it.
Our inert landfill is in compliance with Department of Natural Resources today. Our only violation may be some volume reports that haven't been turned in, and I've already addressed that with Ms. Henry.
The problem here is the law has changed, and unless we move with the law, then in other places, we've got to dump a bunch of money to bring it up to the newer standards that have been put in.
All we need to take a look at, I know the county do not probably don't have anything. It's going to be cheaper for us to be able to haul our limbs or trash somewhere else. We need to look at all issues, not just come here and try to get this way, maintain it. We should look at, are we going to be able to, surplus this somewhere else, or let someone else account?
I would agree with you. I think we need to talk about it in subsequent meetings, but I think the ultimate alternative here is going to be find a way to collect our inert stuff and take it to a different facility. I don't know how that would work, but I think that's going to be our best option, but I don't know what our other options are at this point, but that's the way I would feel about it also.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. We all would have got together, got around the table, and tried to reason this out. The city, taxpayer wouldn't be paying out X amount of dollars to do something else. And we could have just got here and tried to put our heads together and try to...
To be honest, to close that landfill is going to cost an enormous amount of money, whether you put another stick in it or not.
Well, we did this 6 months ago or today, the cost is going to be the same, and we still have to be done.
Yes, it has to be done, but we should be looking for some revenue, and we wouldn't have to be on a deadline. We shouldn't be waiting till the last moment to try to rush and do something. That's with anything. You shouldn't wait till the last moment. We should have just got together. We had 6 months ago, and we knew this was coming down the pipe. We should have took care of this down the pipe. Now we're in a rush, March 15th. Today is the 3rd.
You say you just got this information last week?
I brought it to council. No, I got this information 3 or 4 days before the last council meeting, and I brought it to council. And if you'll remember, I told council I gave this letter to Scott Johnson, a local engineer, to review and come back and get with us, and I'd bring it back to council. And that's what I'm doing tonight.
So we're on the schedule that we were presented. Unfortunately, it's a bad deal. We got a bad hand. We got to play it.
Again, let me repeat. There's over 1,000 inert landfills in the state of Georgia in the same circumstances we're in right now. There's over 100 municipalities just like us, facing the same situation. We're not alone in this. This wasn't self-created.
Yes, I understand that. Other cities and counties is involved in this, but my thing is that we need to look at other avenues.
Understandably,
we will look at other
avenues.
We're all in agreements with it. I suggest, as just a point of information, that we do and meet on this as soon as possible. This week, next week, as soon as we can. Great. As soon as you get something.
As soon as I can hear and talk to Kenny Green, I'll notify council, and we'll all collectively meet with it if we choose.
I would like to, if we could.
Well, I'm quite sure the mayor would love to be more educated on it, because here to go again. I'm just keep bringing it back up again. It's things that's going on that I'm not aware of what's going on. And I think that's what the council that's what the council job is, to come back and report to the mayor. I thought that's what...
Mayor, the earliest I could get the engineer in this town was yesterday afternoon.
But
I can't go down there and put a gun to the man's head.
No, sir, but you can get some more engineers. It's more than one engineer. We just cannot keep looking at the same line. You have to come out of that line and look for something else too. That's all I'm asking. Let's not look for one person to do something. If something happened to that person, what we have? Nothing.
All right, Mr. Mayor, your point is made. Can we move to the next order of business on the agenda, please, sir?
That's because y'all guys keep talking about it.
Mr. Mayor, we've talked about it off and on for the last 30 minutes. and we.
And that's what I was saying. No, but we said you want to talk about it and want to carry it out and try to get something done. Why are we going to wait till?
What else you got to say about that?
Yeah,
Let's look for more avenues.
That's done.
More.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
looking.
Thank you. Let's not just look at one avenue. Look for more than one place when we do things. Ms. Moses.
USDA drawdown, Clark Mosley, the city has about $40,000 worth of bills on this USDA rural development, but right now we only have 3,300 that are critical that we get paid. And I just wanted council's input. We owe geotechnical environmental consultants the $3,300. They did some wetlands mapping and reporting on the sewer plant location. And I would like to be authorized to pay for that service out of the water department's current checking account. And then once we get this USDA sewer project funded, I think it's going to go out for bids in the next maybe 2 weeks. It'll take a month to get the bids back, and then about 2 to 3 months to get the bonds certified. So hopefully, maybe within 4 months, 4 to 4.5 months, we'll be able to draw USDA money and reimburse the water department this $3,300 instead of drawing from the construction loan. And
We still haven't received the USDA money yet.
No, sir.
We still waiting on our audit.
That, we're waiting on the audit, but it doesn't have anything to do with the USDA fund.
Okay, so why are we still waiting on that USDA money?
It's got to go out to bid, which it will go out to bid, like I said, in the next, hopefully the next 2 weeks. Once it goes out to bid, that takes 30 days. Bids come back, and then the bonds have to be validated. And then once those bonds are validated, and that takes 2 to 3 months. Once those bonds are validated, then we will start drawing USDA money.
Are we bidding outside our perimeter?
The engineers did that, and I know they used a place called the Dodge Room, where they let, I know contractors frequent that to see what type of projects are coming available to bid on. The engineers.
They also advertise locally.
Yeah, it runs in the local news, well, I guess the local newspaper.
Yeah.
And, I'm not sure how else, but I imagine that they have people that they deal with, that they know do these types of projects, not just anybody can build a sewer plant, and they probably let them know.
Isn't, the sewer plant we getting, is any other surrounding city or town have that same project?
Does,
Rens has got one that
they
they
just
built
built one in the last 2 years.
3 or 4 years ago.
Are we looking at those people that did that?
The way it works is they advertise in that, and they advertise locally, and everybody that wants to comes in and gets what they call a bid package. And then it's usually, depending on how much work people have, anywhere from 6 or 7, or maybe 4 or 5 to 15 or 20 people or companies.
But I know that might be the engineer job is to do that, to find out how much you need somebody to come in and do that. But couldn't we find out how much Ren paid for theirs, just in case these guys come in and they want $1 million more than they built that plant in Ren?
Well, I mean, it changes on what they do. Everybody bids.
Right.
Whoever the lowest bidder is.
Right. But I'm saying that if Ren bid it for $1 million cheaper than what our people sworn to build it for, that's $1 million that the city can have.
We can't have that, Mr.
I know we can't have it, but that's money that we can do
But
something
The
else with that money.
USDA regulates these projects, and they
Yes, sir.
approve essentially
Yes, sir.
every
But
aspect
they
of
don't
the
mean that
project.
we have to sit around and spend $7.3 million to this company, when you can get another company to do it for $6 million. That's money that we don't even have to borrow.
That's the purpose of the bid, because it changed, like, Ren's may have built theirs when nobody had nothing to do, so they got it cheap.
There's a lot of people don't have nothing to do right now.
Well, I mean, that's why you have to have, you know, send out bids, have to have, so it's a
It's
certain
federal
process
money that is
that you have to
very,
go through, that's governed by the USDA.
Right,
and
I'm
that's
saying
the
we're gonna have to
process
be
you have to
regulated with
use.
that money, I understand that very well.
but USDA, they also look at everything. They know, USDA has an idea of how much a yard of concrete costs or whatever. And they have, you know, they have their own engineers that, remember the plans, they sit back, and they send them back, and we had to send them back to Kenny and them. I mean, their engineers review everything that our engineers.
I think what you may be asking is, like, Kenny and them have some idea from previous jobs, like from the Ren's jobs and different jobs, they have some idea what it's gonna cost. And if it comes in way out, then they may rebid it.
And that's all I'm asking.
Yeah, Kenny and them they know about what it's gonna cost, and they make the plans to use the money we got. And if it comes in way over, then you'd have to rebid it or take something out. But they have an idea of going in what it should cost.
Yeah, we don't want to fall short. Okay?
Mr. Mayor, I make the motion that we allow Clerk Mosley to take the money she needs out of the water department and its budget to pay the bill that's due, and that she repay it back as soon as the USDA money is available to reimburse the water department.
So,
You have been motion, you have been second. Ms. Moss, how much you say you was taking out for 40?
No, it's just 3,300 is all we need to pay now.
Okay.
We can wait on the other until we actually start getting funded.
Okay. It have been second. Do I have any question? No question. All in favor of the word aye?
Aye.
Okay. We had got some money once from Georgia Power, and I think you guys, we put it in you that money, I think. Last time, they gave us the $77,000
franchise.
franchise.
Franchise
It goes
fee.
in the general
Yes, sir,
fund.
that's
It
part
goes
of it.
in the general fund,
Yes, sir.
okay? And it's not earmarked for anything.
It's just, it is included in the revenues for the general fund, and therefore it is budgeted out in the expenditures. So that money it's part of the total of what we say we will operate on for the year. We budget franchise fees in the revenues.
Okay, you budget, and how you know how much you getting in the franchise fee, and we budget. We
have to make an educated guess based on what we have been receiving in the past.
So, and then, you can use it, money can be earmarked for whatever also too. Or it have to be.
That money was part of what we were depending on coming in, that's going out in the general fund towards salaries and
It's used as part of
electricity
our
is part of the
Right, I
general
understand.
fund.
But you estimate, let's say if like, we only got $50,000, and I know you're not gonna say we got $200,000, you're not estimating at that. So you're estimating that's a low cost, what you gonna have, the budget, to make the budget run out. Okay. Did I lose you? I did, okay.
Yes, sir.
If you budget it, you saying you take the money and you budget that money for whatever you can, for the revenues to help, for the expenditure, what's going on with the city.
Right.
And you budgeting it out like $50,000. You just saying maybe we're gonna get $50,000. So you're not going over, but say we're getting $200,000.
Right, you
Right.
try to,
Right.
when you're doing your budget, you
Right.
try to
So how much we budget?
estimate
Right,
as close as possible
right.
to what you're gonna get.
So what we estimate that is, did we do an estimate about how much? You know, I know you can't give me the exact figure, you know.
I don't know off the top of my
I
head.
understand like last year we got 70, so you wanna say
Hopefully
we
this
get
year
70.
we will get 70.
70, right, so we did 70. So, and that means that we got 70, so we just budget that out for 70. So if we got more, that means that we have more that we can do something else with. Help run the city, beautify the city, do something better.
Well, yes, sir, as long, you know,
Right.
hopefully.
As long as it's doing some work for the city.
Well, as long,
Right. And, cause this year we got a little bit more. And, so
How much did we get?
the mayor just wanted like earmark the rest of that we had.
How much did
So-
we get, Mr. Mayor?
I'm gonna get to that point in 1 second if you don't mind. I want to earmark the other that we got to put in some new playground equipment. I want to earmark the rest of it. They say we got 70. So we got 70. I want to earmark, and we got 80. That means we're gonna earmark 10,000 for playground equipment.
that's between y'all.
Because we budget that. I understand that. I understand that. I understand exactly what you're saying, because you're not going to put more and say you got more and then you're not going to be budgeted out. So if you end up getting more, then that's it.
Could you tell us what we got?
Well, I know it tiptoes anticipating.
No, sir, I'm just wondering, because we've just been sitting around this table talking about it, we may have to spend $30,000 or $40,000 either to permit our inner landfill or
I was
to.
gonna say, if you've got an
That's
unexpected
right.
windfall, do you have any unexpected shortfalls?
That's right. If we got shortfall right now, we can use it for that. Right? That's what I'm just trying to get to. So we end up, let's get a walk by this way. It's $81,416.74. And I just want to earmark some of that, that's all.
I would request at next budget, next council meeting, that we know what we budgeted for this and what that number is and what the gain is, and then at that meeting we discuss how to purpose that money, or just leave it in the general fund to pay expenses and have it as a reserve for things that may be unexpected. But once we know the actual numbers, let's talk about it next meeting.
Well, I just don't want to be inspecting, we just doing things just because we got extra money to pay for it. So if we taking care of what we have, and when I say expecting, like fines or doing anything else, when we can do something that to help the citizen in our city, that they can see something coming from it. I want them to be able to see something and we still is paying it out in fine, unnecessary fine. I feel that it's unnecessary. And that's why I like earmark, because I don't think that every penny that we get, we should be spending unnecessary. We should be growing. Anything else, gentlemen?
Mayor, I do have something I'd like to bring up. I attended the countywide meeting last Tuesday on the Medical Reserve Corps. I'm sure everybody saw the bulletin. I think Mayor Pro Tem was there, and I think a few of the citizens in the audience were there as well. I found it to be extremely informative. Again, it was just another opportunity for council to train themselves and educate themselves on what's available. I was astounded at what the Medical Reserve Corps, the things they have in place for pandemic and catastrophic events that have happened in this country and will happen again, the steps and measures that they have in place. It's important that they have volunteers to assist them in what they do. And again, this was very informative to me. I think I would have filled out my application. I think Chris is planning on volunteering his services to be on the Medical Reserve Corps. And I'd like to encourage the citizens that are here tonight to look into it. You can contact Ms. Virginia Bradshaw at the Warrenton County Health Department. She can inform you of what we need to do to volunteer for the Medical Reserve Corps. But I think it's beneficial for this community and this nation to be a part of it.
Can I add to that? March the 14th, we'll be putting on a drill over here at the school, and we will be needing some civilian volunteers to work as volunteers. Because we're very short. We just had a meeting, and we're going to have another one. We're very, very short on the people that we need. Basically, there's something were to happen in Warren County, we would all have to pull together, and the whole county would come to Warrenton, and we would be the point of distribution. So it's something that, if you could volunteer, we do need your help. We do.
What time is
Thank
it?
you, Chief.
I believe it's gonna be from 7 o'clock until lunchtime, and it's gonna be Saturday. The radio is putting out Friday, March the 13th. The radio put the wrong time. It is Saturday, March the 14th, not Friday the 13th. Thank you.
Yeah, I had talked to Ms. Rivers about that, and I had told her I was gonna see about trying to get some volunteers. But she was saying she did definitely need some kids and stuff, volunteers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else, Council? Nothing else? Oh, I'm sorry.
At your request, Mr. Mayor, I got with one of the instructors at McDonough County Sheriff's Department.
Yes.
At the end of this month or sometime early next month, I'll be putting on a class for our police officers for community policing and community relations. Just letting you know, once I get the class set up, I'll be inviting city council members to sit in if they want. It's going to be an 8-hour block of instruction, so if anybody would like to come, they'll be more than welcome. I've already made the chief aware of it. As soon as we can get everything set up, I'll send out all invitations.
So you don't have the date yet?
No, sir, I have to send out invitations to other departments that may want to come to the
Please
class.
do. Please do.
But as soon as I get everything set up, I'll let everyone know and let you know what date it's going to be.
Thank you very much.
And so we did that, and thank you, Major Home. Although I had talked to 4 mayors so far, and they just need some dates. They said they're going to try to make it happen. And we still just working on a day, and I think spring is approaching real fast. So I think springtime is going to be a great time that we get that coffee together. And all the mayors that I talked to is very excited about coming to share some of their ideas. I even just talked to Mayor Urshan today, and he was overwhelmed. He just said he'll make it happen. Just give him a date. He'll make it happen. And most all the other mayors did the same thing also too. Okay. And we are still working on that. And I just want to bring that and get a little bit update on that also. And something that people don't know what I'm talking about. Let me just brief it right quick. That's also bad. We try to get different mayors from different cities and to come in and give us some of their idea how they got their city moving forward. And that's what we're trying to do here, to get our city moving forward. Okay? All right. Nothing else?
Move that we adjourn.
This is the Ghetto Free Press. This is March the 3rd, 2015, in Warrenton, Georgia. This is starting with a little confusion, but it ended up on a much better note. Once again, the Ghetto Free Press.